Hello, everyone. Welcome back to WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative. And I am going to be talking about the show My Babysitter is a Vampire. And I'm with
Quinn Cooper.
And if you guys do not know, My Babysitter is a Vampire is, let me see here. My Babysitter is a Vampire is when geeky 14-year-old Ethan and his buddy Benny babysits his little sister. Ethan's parents gave them a babysitter, but then Ethan's about to find out that his babysitter is a vampire.
Ooh.
And then during the show, all of his friends, which is Ben, Rory, Sarah, which is the babysitter, and Erica, they all go on little misadventures together.
Little whimsical adventures.
They're very, very beautiful adventures. We love we love the show, don't we?
It's a very fun show. It gives me the impression it's like goosebumps every time they go, like every episode, every single journey and mishaps they go through is just magical.
It does seem very, very magical. I'm not going to lie. If you were to have to give a rating to the show, what would you give it?
A rating?
A rating. 1 out of 10.
I'm probably going to go with the number 7 out of 10.
7? I agree with you on that one. Why would you give it a 7 out of 10?
If I were to be honest, it's kind of dated.
It is very dated, but it is such a fun, laid-back show.
Oh,
Nothing
definitely.
to stress about. I mean, season 2 gets a lot more intense.
Oh,
You
yeah.
haven't gotten there yet.
No.
But it does get very intense, especially the last 2 episodes, because, like, the show got canceled at the end of season 2, and there was supposed to be season 3, but, it got canceled.
You missed out on something great.
They did, but it's not entirely their fault.
Yeah.
So I would give it a 7 out of 10 because I feel like the ones that like it are the ones that watched it when it was aired on TV, because it was originally a Canadian show that was bought by Disney to air on Disney Channel. So yeah. Otherwise, the acting is cringy.
Yeah.
Like, there's some parts that are very cringy, but you can totally tell it's getting newer by the episodes, and some episodes are better than the others because the acting is either better or worse. It really depends.
Oh, yeah.
There's like very dated CGI in the show as well.
Yeah. I would argue, though, that compared to other Disney shows they had before, some of the CGI and some of the pacing they had was a lot more worse than this show.
Oh, this show, I feel like the pacing is great.
Oh, the pacing's wonderful.
It doesn't feel like it forces you.
Oh, no. I mean, I feel like it's like a constant wave of enjoyment. Just good, like what you said previously before. It's a good show to watch. Just in the background, just fun show.
Like, you don't even have to stress about it. You can just...
It doesn't drop you right off the bat of something complicated, yeah.
Exactly. Like I mentioned before, it feels like a Disney version of Goosebumps.
Yeah.
It really does. And honestly, to a degree, even though this show is meant for kids, it feels like it's more mature than Goosebumps.
Yeah. Some of the themes some of the things they had in the show and some of the themes they have with the show itself, like some episodes, like one of the episodes focus on nursing, like nurses, like vampire nurses collecting blood. I would say you don't see that nowadays in like typical Disney.
No, you do not. You do not see that at all.
I wouldn't think I'll have to see that theme in Disney at all, but yeah, I mean, you obviously have like previous history with the show.
Oh yeah, so the little history about me from the show. So I got introduced to the show because my cousins one day from South Carolina, it was in the middle of summer, came up here and was like, "Hey, you should watch My Babysitter is a Vampire. Have you seen it? It just came out a few days ago." I don't entirely remember what. I just remember they were like, "Hey, you should watch this show," and I was like, "Sure, put it on." And we spent, I'm not joking, the whole week that they were there for the summer. At night, that's all we did was watch the show. We did nothing else besides watch the show. And that Halloween season 2 came out. Because the show was aired for about 3-4 years. But of course, after the season 2 came out, they just replayed season 1 and season 2 over and over. But it was just, I remember watching it on Halloween at my friends' houses, and I was the only one really into it. And everyone else is like, yeah, this is cringy. I'm like, dude, I love the show. It's great.
Honestly, I don't understand why people see it that way. I mean, at least from my personal first impression of it, it could be worse. Disney has done a lot more cringier things.
That's for dang sure.
Yeah. Like some of the cartoons were like really focused on like fart jokes, and it's just not funny. But this is just a entirely different tone and like pacing.
Oh. Yeah, the pacing is it just feels like they didn't depend on childish humor. I mean, there's some childish humor because, they're kids. They're still like preteens or they're like early teenager. It's freshmen in high school. Like that's pretty much what it is about. If you would have to say, out of every character in the show, who's your favorite character?
Easily the grandmother.
Oh my gosh. I would say she's definitely in the top 5 for me. Like she's great. She's wonderful. Benny's grandma's amazing. We love her. The show is just, I feel like the show, whenever she shows up, I just always have a smile on my face. I don't know why. She always just has something snarky to say, and I love it.
The reason why she's my top favorite is that, well, similar to what you said, she's just snarky, just has something to say. But one episode, I believe episode 2, the cheerleader episode of the show. Yeah,
I remember that. That episode still weirds me out. Like, I try to watch it without cringing, and it's just, it's a really good episode. Like the idea of the episode is cool. It's really interesting. But it's just, there's some parts I just cringe so hard.
Yeah, exactly. Especially towards the end, when the cheerleaders were doing the ritual thing, the grandma just appears out of nowhere last minute just to save the day. Like,
she didn't save the day. She just had to say, she just had a comment to the antagonist in the episode.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely knew she had a connection with the main antagonist, but I just didn't expect her last minute.
That was just so funny overall. She was just like, oh no. One thing I love about her as a character is the fact that she was like, you need to learn. You mess up, you get the consequences. Like, she doesn't even care. She's like,
she's so nonchalant about it.
Have you seen the episode? What is it called? When Benny makes the love potion and it goes wrong. I love that episode. Like, I don't know, you realize how short in time, but by the time the door shuts and like maybe 10 seconds later, Ethan and Benny are in trouble again, and then the grandma's just gone. Cause she leaves the house, right? She's like, okay, you deal with this on your own. Yeah. She just leaves. But not even, I think barely 10 seconds later, they're already in trouble. And then it already shows a shot of outside the house, and it's like, where'd the grandma go? Like, she just disappeared. I'm like,
wait, she's a sorcerer, right? Of some sort?
I think so. She's she's the one that's magical. So.
Yeah, no, she had something going on. I haven't gotten too deep to it compared to you, but like, maybe she has the superpower of just teleporting a lot.
Or just going invisible, and she's just watching them the whole time. Just haha, losers.
watching your grandson
get murdered. Trying to get murdered at least. But yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10 for sure. My favorite character would have to either be Ethan.
Based.
Okay, listen here. Okay. The reason why I like Ethan is because of his powers. And
only his powers?
him as a character, he just stands up for himself and his friends and family. That is one thing I really do find funny is the family. The family is part of the story, right? But the family is just goodbye. Like,
yeah, I know. It's like real quick, like not even like 3 episodes in. It was quick to really.
I mean, the little sister's always there for some
She always has something to say as well.
I'm trying to find a character that I can relate the little sister to, but I can't remember what it is. But she's just that little sister that acts more mature than them.
I would. It's a character. Shoot. Pink, Amazing World of Gumball, small.
Oh yeah,
funny.
I know what she's talking about. Yeah, that's one character too. Yeah,
she gives me the vibe of that.
Oh yeah, talking about Amazing World of Gumball. That was my last episode I just talked about. Oh, and sorry about this. For I forgot to even announce this. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Even though Halloween's not until Thursday, but I wanted to do my Halloween episode. That's why I'm talking about My Babysitter as a Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, why not for the holidays talk about something that's Halloweenish? And this was the first show, because the show was aired around October.
Really?
All throughout the month, yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
When it aired, yeah. So this was the first show that I thought of. And I didn't realize once I said I was going to do this, I'm like, crap, I could have done Goosebumps.
It could have, but at the same time, I like something that isn't
Popular.
always yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I would have never found this show out without, having to research it for this show.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, you want to do it? And you're like, sure. What is it?
I was going to say, yeah, I like learning new things all the time.
Me too. Yeah, I've already said that. Oh, like I said, I really like his powers because I've always wanted to be that person that can see things into the future. I feel like it's because he has more of like the seeing of auras. Mm-hmm. But in season 2, he can go into people's actual brains and see what they're thinking about and all that, and vision. It's just really cool. But I just really like his powers. I've always wanted that power. That would be cool.
That would be cool, but knowing me, I overthink. So if I ever had that power, I'm gonna be like, oh, this person hates me. Okay, I'm just gonna sidewalk and moonwalk my way out of here.
Moonwalk backwards out of here.
It's just too much of a responsibility. But I mean, I think that kind of fits with the character. Like what you said previously before, he's like very mature compared to his family members.
Yes.
But so that's your top favorite character, right?
My second favorite character would have to be Sarah. I know, again, based. I
say debatable.
It's funny because it's actually been proven. I actually was watching the deep dive that I was talking about earlier, and they mentioned Sarah. That is like, no one mentioned Sarah as their favorite character. She's my favorite character because she's just that friend that is always there for you, even when she's in trouble herself.
Yeah. That just goes to, she has some dedication towards people she cares about.
Yes, I agree. And I know it's kind of weird, but when I was a kid watching the show, she was my very first celebrity crush. I know, it's crazy. It's funny, but yes.
I don't know. I didn't think much of her, but there is one character I do dislike.
Who?
Roy.
I love Rory.
No.
Why do you? Is it because of how his cringy comments or acting? Is that why?
His comments, really, especially the first episode about him being the invisible ninja.
He's just that nerd that no matter what happens to him, he's still a nerd.
Yeah.
That's why I like him.
Yeah, that's something I will appreciate about him, but still.
He's the most realist character you'll ever have.
He's just like me. Did you
get to the episode where they go along with that that vampire hunter guy?
No, I don't believe so.
But there's an episode where they talk with this one guy that's a vampire hunter, and he's like actually fake. Mm-hmm. And they realize that some of his stuff is actually real. So to keep Sarah alive from getting attacked, they defend her as much as they can and just role play. It's really interesting. You have to keep watching the show.
All right.
You got to let me know.
I honestly, after this, I think I'm going to watch the movie and get a little bit further in the seasons.
I still can't believe you didn't watch the movie before the
okay.
show.
So, funny context. When I got informed about the show, I was only sent the playlist for the show by the actual show itself. Apparently, there's a movie that builds up the actual context of the show.
If you're a fan out there as much as I am, shame Quinn.
I know. But hear me out. It was funny watching the first episode, just like
trying to figure out what's going on.
Like, who are these characters? They didn't even tell me their name until episode 2. And they're already attacking undead animals.
Oh wait, that's what I like about the show. If the show literally just threw you in like that without no prequel, I would love that show. Because it shows you that the creators trust the audience to figure it out themselves.
Exactly. This is one show I quickly got like emotionally attached to already.
Why? Oh, how so?
Just seeing how they built up the characters, really. They're not like your stereotypical character personality stuff. I mean, typically you got like the nerdy person, the mature person, but everything else, like Sarah, a little bit Benny. Benny's kind of a prankster, I guess. But nonetheless, this how the show builds itself up. It's like on its own instead of something that's trying to replicate anything else that came before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like something that's.
I mean, it's replicating because the whole show's based on another version, another reality of life, just with fiction stuff in it. So if you realize their version of Twilight is dusk. You didn't pick that up at all?
No.
Are you serious? I just thought
I just thought they were just talking about some random movie.
Yeah, that's their Twilight is dusk, while ours is just Twilight.
I need to keep that note then going forward.
I feel like Twilight was definitely a motivation for sure.
Oh, 100%.
And it's funny because out of all the fan theories and all of that, I've seen a lot of people say out of all this is the most, younger audience, meant for younger audience, is so much better than Vampire Diaries, Twilight, and all the other vampire shows. They say this one beats them all out. And I say it's definitely the comedy. It's definitely the fun. Yeah. Otherwise,
I would definitely have to say it's more leading towards the fun because Twilight's too dark sometimes. I
don't even think Twilight's dark.
It's not dark.
I got really bored trying to watch Twilight.
I boring and raunchy, I'd say.
I personally think Twilight is worse acting than this show.
Yeah. I mean, looking back on it now, people have always made jokes about how
bad Twilight was.
Yeah.
Let me figure out, did Twilight come out before this show?
I would assume so. I mean, this show came out in early 2000s or 2010s.
Something like that.
I think Twilight came out in 2008.
Okay, let me see here. I'm looking it up on my handy dandy device. Yes, the movie series of Twilight came out before the show. I think the movie series finished as the show of My Babysitter's Vampire finished. Because Twilight, the first one, came out in 2008, while the last one is 2012.
2012?
Yes. What? They have 5 movies? I thought there was only 3. I'm not going to lie with you.
Yeah, they kind of fell off towards the very end.
They fell off after the first 30 minutes of the first film.
I'm sorry, Twilight fans. I only watched the first 2 movies.
If this gets requested only in my DMs of Instagram of the Plexi Film Show.
Wink wonk.
If I get requested to watch Twilight and talk about it, I will.
Wink wonk.
That's only if I get DM'd.
Wink
I will
wonk.
never talk about Twilight on this show.
You seem to be pretty dedicated to it.
Okay. Anywho, this is the end of this first segment. We had a great conversation for the opener.
Indeed.
We're going to come back with what our BuzzFeed character quiz on who we are when we come back. So, I'm going to play the intro song to the show for you guys, for people who have not seen this show at all. So, yes. This is the title of the song is Girl Next Door by the people that created the show. Enjoy this lovely intro.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative. And this is AJ back with the Plexi Film Show. And I'm going to be continuing to talk about My Babysitter's a Vampire. And I am with
Quinn Cooper.
And we're going to be coming back with what our BuzzFeed quiz, whatever you want to call it, because it really wasn't a BuzzFeed. I want to call it BuzzFeed quizzes because that's usually what these quizzes are for. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't find an actual BuzzFeed quiz, so I just found a random one online. So I took the quiz for the show. Do you want to take a guess on what character I got?
Benny.
How the frick did you? How'd you know? How'd you know?
I don't know. Give me a Benny vibe over here.
How? You got to give me more of a reason. Is it because I'm always a jokester?
No, that's my job.
This is my job.
I don't know. Just I would say like your whole demeanor and your tone. Really, it's a lot more Benny-like.
Okay.
It's the best way I could explain it. I don't know how to explain it any other way. You just give off the vibe.
Just you're Benny.
You're Benny. It's canon now.
All right. I can agree to that. What character did you get?
I got the one character I didn't like.
Roy?
I got Roy. And the way that it described me is that you're the best character. You're also autistic.
Dude, your description was funny, but mine is long.
It was actually meaningful.
There's definitely a fan definitely made this. You can totally tell.
100%.
I'm not going to say the first line, but I'll show you after this. But I'll start with, you are in love with your best friend. You are a little wizard. Everyone loves you, even though you think they don't. And sure, maybe you have a little resentment for your friend that always gets the attention. And maybe it's upsetting how they seem to be constantly thinking about their crush instead of you, their best friend. But what's a friendship without a little unrequited love? Psst, it isn't. You are your own person. You are valuable to your friends for your own sake, not because you're the best friends plus one. People like you for you.
That was the word I was missing. You're just a little wizard. That's why you're Benny.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard. But I got Roy. I don't know how to feel about it.
Rory?
This is the second personality quiz where I felt conflicted with myself.
Weren't you sad about getting the character you got from Total Drama Island too?
Yeah. I didn't. Why do I keep on getting the characters I don't want? Wait, that might say something about me. Oh.
Are you being someone that you don't want to be?
Ooh, Halloween.
Halloween.
Would you say that quiz was accurate though? Would you think from what you think about yourself?
I'd say some parts of Benny, yes.
Yeah.
For me, I fit really well. What exactly?
Yeah.
I would say that I'm very random, as Benny is.
Definitely.
And sure, things might not work out, but I try it anyways and do it. AKA him just doing whatever with his powers and not knowing what it does, but does it anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is what it does, but I didn't read it all the way, and that's me.
Yeah.
That is literally the definition of me. What character do you think you would have gotten? Like, what character is more accurate to you?
I would say Benny.
Benny? Why Benny?
I'm a prankster. I like goofing off. I like I just like making fun moments that like to be serious.
Serious? Dude, I do that all the time. My friends will I'll give an example because I tend to do this a lot on accident, not on purpose, but I'm the type of person when something goes wrong, I try to make fun of it to help me out so I don't get scared. So I'll give an example. My friends is very sensitive to certain noises or sounds, and I forget that it happened, and I'll just start laughing. Even though they were crying, I would just laugh. It's like, I'm sorry.
You're just like me for real.
You're just like me for real. It's just very sad because it'll be a normal situation like, but we can do this. Sure, we'll get caught, but we should do this. It's like me in Minecraft the other day. I was so mad at me because I would try to be very strategic the first time, and then I would die and I'll get mad. So I was like, okay, screw it. I already died anyways. I want to ground my stuff, bring it back. So I went back to the Nether with nothing, and I'm like, I'm going to kill every single one of these guys, and I don't care if I die. I'm going to make sure they're all gone so I don't have to go through torture trying to find what I want.
Dedication right there.
But yeah, sorry about the buzzing and the mics. I don't know what is going on. So if you are a headphone or earbud listener, I am so sorry for you. And even if you're just a casual listener, and if you're trying to listen to this and you're hearing the buzzing and it's bothering you, it's bothering me so much right now.
Me too.
But just something that is going on that is out of our control. Hopefully our station manager or technician can fix that. So anyway, we're going to be continuing on with the show, and we're going to be starting with the theories that I was able to find. I couldn't find much. Same with the fun facts. I couldn't find much at all.
Maybe the lack of theories is what is truly a theory.
The whole thing is just a theory. This show, I mean, I feel like this show is fake because every person I've talked to at the school, they're like, what is that show? What is that show? So I'm just like, did I grow up with the show not really existing? But I can find it.
The Mandela effect.
It's crazy.
It's not a show.
It's not a show. It's really part of your imagination. But no, it's a real show. Like it's a real show. I guess people aren't as cool as me, I guess.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I really don't know how people didn't know about it. Because I would talk to people around my age like you. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I don't know.
I mean, hey, it gives out an opportunity for people to find the show.
I guess. Give the show more fans.
Yeah.
And interaction.
Like me.
Like you. I'm actually glad you got to watch the show because honestly, it's so hard. Because I'll try to talk to Logan about a movie or a show, and he barely bounces off because he's like, I've never seen it. It's like, of course you're not going to be able to bounce it off because you've never seen it. You got to watch it.
SMH. Exactly.
Anywho, I'm going to start off with how did Ethan get his powers? Short and sweet to the point. I'm just going to tell you.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, that's a good show. That's a good show.
You know what? Maybe you should make that your next show.
Another show from the same channel.
We'll talk about Miss Kibbles all day.
Short and sweet to the point. His family and ancestors had the same power, had the same conflict with the vampire people in the town. There's a lot of history behind it. I don't want to talk about it discreetly. Short and sweet, he got his powers from his ancestors.
Sounds about right.
Yes. I'm going to kind of like go a little bit into it. Like how his body reacts the way it does to certain situations in the show as well. So he's the only character that is able to see ghosts, which is a gift. So it definitely shows that he's a seer. Mm-hmm. He's the only one that's been bitten by a werewolf. Really? And then he has a rare blood type, which is talked about a lot throughout the show, but never really
dived into.
And it really dives into it. It tells you once, but once I figured it out, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But I thought it was a fake blood type, but it isn't. It is called HH blood type, which is very, very rare. So HH blood type, let me tell you.
This is interesting. Okay.
It's a rare blood type that is characterized by deficiency of H antigen on the red blood cells. So it's not common in the U.S. For people to have. It's usually like out of country blood type.
Really?
Yes. Which makes sense.
It does, but like, wow, I didn't know there was that blood type.
So like the show says what type of blood he has because for the blood drive, one of the vampires says it outright, and then throughout the whole show, it just kind of just hints at that he has a very rare blood type, and every vampire just wants it for some reason.
On that episode, I just thought they were just complimenting him wearing cologne.
Oh, you got a nice scent you got there. It's like,
is that the $5 Walmart spray?
Is that dusk?
Is that dusk?
Is that the same dusk you got for me to fall in love with you? That's crazy. That's good. That's one of my favorite episodes. I know you find it cringy, but it's just such a funny episode.
I definitely still gotta continue watching it.
You seen that episode, right? When Benny makes a love potion.
Oh yeah.
It's just made out of cologne. And he puts the pee of the slugs. Yeah. You've seen it. That episode's good.
Is it? I'm joking, yeah.
It is. There is another episode that I like. But anywho, yeah, that's short and sweet to the point. How he got his powers.
I was going to dodge over the question of what is your other episode you like?
We'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there?
We'll get there. I promise.
Only here now.
Only here? No. Calm down. Okay. But yeah, short and sweet to the point. It's just he got his powers from his ancestors.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll put the links to these videos. I usually put the links to the videos I watch in the notes of each show. You guys can find them on my website. If you're listening to this on Spotify, YouTube, you can find the link in there. So you got this. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got this.
Anywho, what is your favorite episode out of the ones that you've seen?
I like episode 2.
Which one was episode 2?
The cheerleader episode.
Why do you like the? That's right.
I just love it because how chaotic it was.
It's a cool concept because it really goes into the history.
It does. I liked it a lot, especially with me not watching the movie again, but still nonetheless, just it gave out a lot more details about the characters. And again, it's just chaotic good.
It is just so chaotic. It's just You could totally tell it's a Disney show just by this episode alone.
Oh yeah.
The pillow fight, the locker scenes.
The pillow fight, yeah.
It's insane. It's such a good show though.
Oh yeah.
We love it. We love it a lot. I would have to say my favorite episode, because I have it somewhere. Where did I put it?
You can't remember?
I do remember. I just want to give specific episodes. There we go. Like I said, my favorite season 1. It's usually the most iconic season that everyone likes. But my favorite episode is the one where Benny makes that love potion and makes every girl fall in love. It's so cool because, okay, I don't like it just because of that. I just like to see how, like, I don't think I've seen another scenario. We've all seen scenarios like, we're going to make this love potion where everyone falls in love with me, but you don't see the consequences. And if it's a consequence, it's very light. While this show takes advantage of the consequences, and I love it. Especially the ending where the grandmother's like, you wipe down the car, you do stuff for us, and turns Benny and Ethan into like their little maids. It's so funny. Another episode is in season 2. You haven't seen it, but when you watch it, it is it's another very chaotic episode. It's called Halloween. It's when Ethan throws a Halloween party and a bunch of their costumes come to life of their actual character. So I think Benny's like a magician wrestler. Mm-hmm. So all you see is like Benny's character going insane. I don't know if it's the same episode, but there is an episode where Rory takes the mask that the history teacher is talking about and he wears it. And it kind of reminds me of the movie The Mask and the episode of The Mask in the show Goosebumps. Mm-hmm. So it kind of gives that same vibes. So I thought that was really cool. I don't know if it's the same episode in Halloween or not, or a different one. I can't entirely remember because I haven't seen season 2 in a long time.
It sounds like the same episode where they transform into the same character that they're trying to present as, but... We'll have to see. I have to watch it again for more enough season 2 at least.
Yeah, you gotta watch the whole show.
I know, I'm sorry.
This show feels like it's long, but once you go through, it's like, oh yeah, this is really short.
I would say it's a lot more shorter than Total Drama Island. Total Drama Island, you gotta pay attention to the character's dynamic, really. Mm-hmm. But with this show, it's gotta know like what's the general goal of it, the characters, and to see how they interact with it.
Exactly. One thing I do like about this show, it's very, very small detail, but there's only 13 episodes in each season.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's like it's a bad, because it's not a lucky number. Mm-hmm. It's a bad omen. So like, it kind of just, in my like brain, psychologically, I'm like, oh my gosh, 13. It's a bad omen. So it shows the show, it's in a horror aspect. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I can really think of. And the consequences of the show.
The Bad Omen did not give it a season 3.
Exactly. Maybe that's the reason why they chose to do 13 episodes twice. And
oh no.
And the universe was like, too bad. Let's see here. But yeah, those are the 2 of my favorite episodes. There are so many good episodes in the show. I just don't know which one to choose, but those ones are just the ones that I remember the most as.
Actually, now that brings up a question for me. I don't think you ever said what was your least favorite character.
My least favorite character would have to be. Can it be the antagonist?
The main antagonist, or are you talking about side antagonist?
Say just a specific episode antagonist.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Have you seen Guys and Dolls?
Which episode was that?
Look it up. Wait, maybe it's not called Guys and Dolls. Let me see. It's about when the sister of Ethan takes the spell book from Benny.
So the main villain of that episode, I'm assuming?
It's not his sister, but the main antagonist of that episode would be that doll because Ethan's sister turns her doll into real life. That episode terrifies me. It's
something tells me you do not like Chucky either.
I don't like dolls, period.
Ding ding ding.
I mean I like Chucky. I like the series of Chucky. The movie series, not the show. I haven't seen the show, but I've heard the show is good.
So what do you not like about this character, to be exact?
You really, because in the movie Chucky, it's a real human soul. While in this, it's just an evil presence in this doll, and you can totally tell it's a doll because once the doll is injured, you hear that like struggling technological voice. It just sounds creepy. It's just like, I don't like that. Yeah.
So you obviously watched the show fully, right?
Oh, season 1, episode 4. So you've seen it.
Oh yeah, I did.
bro fell.
Oh,
This episode, isn't that one creepy? Like, it's not creepy, but out of all of them, that one's the most creepiest.
I'll definitely say it's a little bit more creepy on the creepier side.
Like when she gets injured, it's terrifying. Like, look at that. I don't like that. I don't like it. But yeah, that's one of my least favorite episodes and least favorite antagonist. Ooh, you good?
I banged my head accidentally.
How dare you hit your head?
Sorry. I'm sorry, microphone as well, and the listeners.
I'm so sorry.
Man, today's the day I'm gonna be saying sorry a lot.
I mean, it goes well with the show because the show is a Canadian show. AKA
the nicest country in the world.
The nicest country, but also the most darkest for some reason. That is, I saw a theory actually when I was watching. It was like a light theory. It was just like, what happens instead of? They're like, you can totally tell this show is from Canada because if this was the US, they could have really ended this stuff with just one weapon, just one weapon. And I was just like, you know what? Fair. That is very reasonable. Because you don't at all see anything representing weapon.
No. I thought it was just because of Disney, but now that I think about it, so there definitely someone would have done something.
Yes, exactly, for sure. But this isn't really a theory, but it's just the only thing I really have that's part of the theories. The downfall of the show and why season 3 didn't happen. So if you guys do not know, for the people that are left behind on why season 3 didn't happen, season 3 was planned for actually, and same with the future second movie of the show. They didn't have enough money and budget for that, along with the audience at that time just kind of just dropped in numbers. I don't know why, because I personally think the second season is really intense, and it ends off with a very high, like, oh, there's going to definitely be a third season. So when I hear drop numbers, I just feel like people just lost interest over the years, maybe. I don't know.
That's what I thought it would have been. I mean, let's think about it in this way. If that show would have came out recently with social media apps like TikTok, maybe it probably would have been around a little bit longer. I mean, I guarantee a lot more people would talk about it then, but who knows? But then again, people like us that are talking about it might come back. But at the same time, some of the actors are kind of gone.
Another reason why season 3 didn't happen was the fact that the cast themselves were getting older in age, of course. You can see it in season 2. Because at this time, I think they were 17 or 18-year-olds playing as freshmen, which is pretty close in age compared to today. They're like 30-year-olds playing as teenagers.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the most accurate. But the cast themselves wanted to do better and bigger things, bigger projects. Mm-hmm. So it was a struggle to get them back as well. And the actor for Ethan retired from acting, I think, in 2013, 2014.
Yeah, sometime, but I haven't seen him ever. He's such a good actor, though.
I personally think he's probably the best actor in the whole show.
Yeah.
Besides for,
Did you ever figure out why?
I think he just wanted to focus on his own life. And
respect.
He realized that it's not something he entirely wanted to do.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, a wide majority of people would dream of that happening.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like Tom Holland, why he took a little hiatus for a little bit. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to fully retire, but he was just like, oh no, I'm going to do another movie. Oh, another series.
Yeah.
Oh, no. AKA, there's a rumor that there's going to be a Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland. So
we're going to have to wait until another movie comes out, though. You know what that movie is?
What?
Spider-Man Noir. They're making a movie about that. So, due to licensing, we're going to have to wait a bit.
Yeah. That is part of why they didn't make season 3. As well as struggling with creating ideas for season 3. Of course, they had an structure, like they said, they had planned to make season 3. They had an idea, but for a whole of season 3, I feel like they were just struggling with ideas. I think the creator was just doing it himself, because usually, you have a team help come with an idea, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to show. After first season's usually the main person. It's like, oh, we should make this. And then after that, the team helps bounce off ideas. Oh, you could do this, you could do that. I feel like they struggle with ideas. That was part of it. And the creators themselves also wanted to go more graphic and more darker. And you know how strict Disney is. Disney doesn't want that.
Oh, yeah. They're very strict about that kind of stuff.
So Disney didn't want that. So they're like, if I want to go anywhere, I want to get darker. And the whole, that's actually a fun fact. Actually, the original script was actually supposed to be way more darker and more terrifying, but modified it to make it more suitable for younger audiences.
You ever wonder if this show would have been, if it was picked up by Cartoon Network? Because their strictness about darker things is a lot more looser than how Disney would go.
I don't know. That's a good question, considering Cartoon Network is no longer a thing.
Exactly. But yet, we get such good shows. I don't know. It's a kind of a dilemma, but nonetheless, though, it'll be interesting to see, especially if there would have been a possible season 3.
I feel like if they had enough money, first of all, and if they wanted to go on a darker route, they could have easily went to, I don't know, Canadian companies, like TV show companies, but you could easily just go into, they could have shipped the title to Adult Swim. They could have gone to that.
They could, but I feel like that would be kind of...
Because if they wanted to go for darker, they could have easily done that.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's other shows that did that before. Because I was going to say, you're kind of splitting up the viewership at the same time.
If that's the route that they want to go, but with switching up channels, they're losing their younger audience. Because they're like, where did it go? And the parents are going to be like, no, Adult Swim for you.
Yeah. Well, now that I think about it, there's other shows that did that, like Samurai Jack. It was originally Cartoon Network, and then it went to Adult Swim right afterwards. I guess, I don't know how long ago, but early, like 2020, sometime around then, it was like a kids show, but then now towards the very end, just got a lot more adult themed into it. A lot more violence.
I feel like shows should do that. If they want to try for younger audience, go ahead and try. If you have money enough to switch, go ahead and switch.
There's rumors around so far about a regular show, another show that's doing this tactic. They're going to more adult themed things because they're going to reboot the show.
Yes.
For people that don't know, regular show, fun, wacky show that have animal characters doing their old adventure. So they're mostly focused on like children things, but towards the end, they kind of end things off, but now they're going to continue it again, but at them as adults. And they're going to take the theme of adults as well. So we're going to have to see how this goes alongside. Be curious of what this show would be if it were to be like more adult themed.
Yes, I agree.
Do you know how dark it was going to be?
I do not.
You don't? It wasn't shared?
No, I couldn't find anything as of right now. But if I find more information about a show, I of course going to talk about it.
Better.
I better. I just know the show was good. I know when I watched the deep dive, they talked about the season 3 theories, what it was going to be like. Like they can take the information that we have. So I'm about to read that now. You can tell that there was going to be season 3 by the development of Ethan's powers in the finale of season 2 by adding the fact that he was, he's now gained the power of to be in people's minds. And instead of just, touching and, objects and seeing what things do or the potential like curse or powers of that, aka auras of things. That's the best way I can describe Ethan's original power. They just added the fact in the season 2, they added Ethan's development of being able to go in people's minds. I don't know where I was going with that at all. But you can totally tell that there was going to be season 3 because of that development. And you realize from season 1 to season 2, Benny goes from messing up everything to actually pursuing and getting better with his magic. And I find that really cool. And the person that watched the deep dive talked about this, said that they could make season 3 a lot more about magic.
They honestly could have. I feel like that would have opened up a lot more borders with stories.
Exactly.
That honestly would have given the opportunity more for season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, interesting. So would you say you're a diehard fan of the show?
I used to be a lot more of a diehard fan, but while rewatching this, I felt that like childhood, like excitement of how much I used to be obsessed with the show. But like as a child, your obsession with the show was just rewatching it and trying to figure out stuff on your own rather than, making theories about stuff. You're just more so finding stuff on your own, connecting things. Me rewatching it now, I'm just like, there's that. That makes sense. I already knew that, but I never thought about it this way.
Right. Would you, when you realized season 2 left off on a cliffhanger, were you really bummed out when you figured out there was no season 3 for a long while?
I still am bummed out. But there was a point where it actually made me really depressed, and I had to come to a realization that, like, sure, the show's over, but just appreciate what they did make.
Exactly.
And
honestly, that's the whole purpose of the show, I would say. Any show, really.
Any show. I personally think there shouldn't be a revamp of regular show, but that's just me. Yeah,
but everyone has their own creative differences.
And if they have a direction that they want to go and try, go ahead. I'm not going to be like, how dare you? Well, I've seen people get mad over stuff because they'll name it one thing and it's nothing related to that at all. Oh, yeah, that's very common in this like current media we're in. Like with Stars especially, a lot of people are talking about how much more of the new media now is nothing like how it was back in like the original trilogy, even the prequels now. I'm just like they're trying new things. Because I know with the new Star Wars stuff, they're trying to make it as accurate as possible, but in a Disney way. Yeah, definitely in a Disney way. I'm just curious of going forward with a lot of older fans being upset, how they would want to contribute. I'm personally not a show person. Are you? I like movies. But if I find a show, I'm very like it has to be done. Right. Like, it has to be. I that's why I can't get into Family Guy. There's 20 something episodes or seasons. I just can't get into it because there's a main long story, but there isn't really a progress of story. It's just like, here's this main story. This short bit here and there. Yeah. I mean, I like shows that are like, I'll give you an example. Robot Chicken. It's just making fun of shows and movies and media in general. That's a good show to just throw on randomly. And it's not continuous where you got to start from the very beginning. But if I want to be, and it's not that many seasons either. Yeah. It's just done. It's whatever. But if you're trying to make a story for a show, I have to be into it. I can't stand shows that have maybe 40 minutes to an hour and it takes 3 episodes to progress this tiny little thing. I get bored with it. I'll give an example. I tried to get into My Hero. Loved it. I don't even know what episode I stopped watching it. But there's no reason to, that's why I also couldn't get into Dragon Ball. There is one fight lasting 3 to 5 episodes. Really? Yeah, no, that's something I never could bear witness to. Every fight should at least end at like 1 episode. In my opinion, the longest a fight would be maybe, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes. But it has to be very intense. Yeah. It has to be very intense. I'll give an example for an episode that's all about fighting. Whenever Peter and that chicken fight. That's perfect. It's not the whole episode. It's not the whole premise at all. It's just short and sweet and fun to the point. Yep. Even though it's very intense. But it's just like, I don't think any fight scene or something simple as a task should take 3 to 5 episodes. Yeah. And honestly, with this show especially, I could see some kind of executive producer, creative executive would want to do something like that with the show. Either it over explaining magic or a giant magical battle. And that's why I like about shows that are short and sweet. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish there was more to tell me. But it's just like, I gotta watch it, think about it differently. Yep. And then I'll get more from it rather than I just need more. Yep. And I'll give an example, even though I figured out that they're making a season 2, I have no clue where they're going to go from there. Because the season ended with most of the, 99% of the original cast is gone.
Are you talking about the show?
Not this show. I'm talking about a show. So I'm talking about Cyberpunk Edge Runners. They were announced to make season 2. It's been confirmed. They were announced that they're going to make season 2. And I talked to my friends that have seen the show. I'm like, I don't know where they're going to go with this. I'm like, I don't know either. I mean, it'd be cool to see where this show would go because I love this show. I watched it 3 times already. I think it came out in 2022, 2023. I don't remember when exactly it came out. I do too. But I've watched it 3 times, loved it. Only 10 episodes, maybe 20 minutes each, 20, 30 minutes each. Very fast pace of a show. But there's so much story behind it where you just go ahead and do your own research because, it's about the game Cyberpunk 2077. But I think it's the prequel or what is it called when it's after something, after an event?
Aftermath.
Aftermath, I guess that would be considered. I don't remember which part Cyberpunk Edge Runners is. Either way, the show is very fast-paced. I like fast-paced shows to a degree because Cyberpunk Edge Runners goes very fast, slows down for like a few minutes or a few episodes, and then will speed back up.
Right.
And I love that about it because it makes you have to watch every little thing to keep you engaged, to know exactly what's going on, and I love stuff like that.
Fair enough. I'm curious of how they are going to go going forward, if they're going to do something entirely different, like focus on one character from some other part of, I forgot the location they're in. Either way, I feel like it would be interesting to see another character's perspective of how they go about their daily lives in a dark slum big city town where there's always crime. David and how they showcase his story.
Wait, you seen the show?
I seen that show.
Okay, cool. I was so confused what you're talking about. I was like, wait, you seen the show? Because when I was talking about it, you seemed really confused. That's
I was confused by what show you were talking about.
Oh, fair.
But how they showed David's story is great. It showed,
I feel like it'd be cool if they made season 2 and go into the thoughts and actions of Lucy.
That would be interesting, but I feel like we'll have to see how that goes. I feel like there has to be a lot more.
Because if you think about it, she's the last original character that's alive. I mean, there's a character that was thrown into it that is alive that saved her. But she's the last remaining main character.
Yeah. Who knows? I could definitely see her being the type of elder characters you're trying to be an edge runner? I'll teach you.
I'll teach you anything.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to run.
Me and my ex-lover.
We went to the moon.
We went to the moon and back.
We'll have to see, especially this current media. A lot of creative ideas could easily go, that could look good, but they usually don't.
So I'm just curious to see where it goes. I'm throwing a lot of, because we're both bouncing off, this show's coming out with, there's a lot of shows and that are coming out with a new season or a sequel. And another show that I've already talked about that is coming out with a new season, Phineas and Ferb.
Really?
Yeah, they're coming out with a new season. It's been confirmed, they're ready. I think it's going to come out next summer.
Is this them being kids still?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know where they're going to go with this, but
I was going to say that.
But they're coming out with a new season. I'm excited.
Huh. I don't know how to feel about that.
I'm excited though.
I already cried 2 times on Phineas and Ferb last episode, the movie where Harry just his identity got shown. Are you talking about the second dimension?
Huh? Are you talking about Phineas and Ferb in the second dimension?
Yeah, I cried at the ending. I thought that was the finale.
It seems like the finale, but it's not. I think it's before this whole show.
And then I cried again at the very last episode when Phineas and Ferb and everyone else grew up. It's oh wow, they grew up just like me for real. But now it's it's kind of just tossing a ball to me, and now just okay, no fetch again.
Go get it for you. I'm curious to see where it goes.
I'm curious too. It's a good show nonetheless, and has good humor.
Oh yeah. Anywho, we've rambled on for a pretty long time. So I'm going to be throwing on some music that I thought was related or the same vibe of My Babysitter's Vampire. Again, I made this playlist. I couldn't find a soundtrack for the show.
Not beyond the opening?
I tried the opening's the only thing that I was able to find. I mean, I would even try to use Shazam. I think they made their own stuff for the show.
Really?
Like, yes, I think.
Not a single license.
No, I don't think it's licensed either.
I would expect it.
Because I would try to use Shazam to like see what it is. It just kept loading and loading and loading. Nothing.
Shazam.
So I don't know. Anywho, I want to continue on with the vibes of the music of My Babysitter's Vampire. Enjoy. See you on. Let's go 11:20. How's that sound?
Okay.
We'll be back for some fun facts and the last question of the night before you leave.
Yes.
And if we have time before you leave, we could talk about your Halloween costume that you're wearing.
All right.
All right. We'll be back on at 11:20. See you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to WXUT 88.3, Toledo's only alternative. And this is AJ with the Plexi Film Show, and I'm with
Quinn Cooper.
You're really quiet. You guys.
Quinn Cooper.
There you go. And today we're going to be continuing on with My Babysitter is a Vampire. And if you guys do not know, we left off with a little hint what we're going to talk about first. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
To tell your story?
Oh, my story.
Yeah.
With my Halloween costume.
So, describe your costume for for the listeners.
So it is a cool, awesome, spiritually charged Spirit Halloween shark onesie. I think
it is beautiful.
It fits well. It feels comfortable. I think I might wear this to bed, honestly.
Bro's literally been wearing this all day.
Yeah. I need to watch this. So I wore this for a funny bit. So I have this little side thing going on at campus of University of Toledo, being a DJ at WXUT 88.3. So we did a little DJ bit with the what was the event called? You were there with me.
It was a walk. It was like an event for Walk for Water.
Yeah,
like purified water and stuff, where the runners or walkers can carry a gallon of water or half a gallon, doesn't matter, just a jug of water and run with it.
Yep.
For wasn't it 3.7 kilometers, 3.1, something like that? I don't remember. You weren't there. It was like it was at least 3 kilometers. I know that.
Yeah,
AKA, I think, I don't know how many miles, but 3 kilometers.
Nonetheless, they had to do a lot of walking with a lot of water jugs.
A lot of water jugs they wanted. I don't even know how many people I saw. I think I saw someone put 4 gallons in a backpack.
Yeah. They put like a whole military backpack on the front and back side of them. Not to mention holding it in their arms. It was crazy.
It was insane. It was a cool event.
Kudos to them. They had to do a lot of walking, but
I think they were running. Weren't they the ones running?
Some of them were running, some of them were walking. It's the same competition, but it was like still ran differently. I don't know how to describe it. They're all in one group nonetheless.
Yes.
So how I got this information about this what we call it, a gig, I guess, or season.
What?
The DJ session.
Oh, yeah, just go ahead.
Basically,
I don't know what to call it.
I was going to call it a gig. So with this gig, I didn't know a lot of information besides it was going to be at Centennial Mall and it was at a certain time.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, okay. So since it's close to Halloween, it was like, it must be Halloween themed.
Yes.
It was nothing Halloween.
It
was nothing Halloween. So I was just there with a shark onesie dancing to like Paramore and other music.
I made it Halloween themed because it is Halloween time.
It is.
I don't know if we have a DJ event before Halloween. So I was like, you know what? Let's play some Halloween music for people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many times do you really see DJs anymore play music that are holiday related?
At most, Michael Jackson. Jackson.
That's my new favorite Disney minus singer.
Disney minus. But yeah, it was a fun time. I had a lot of people interact with me, dance, take pictures, ask me like to take a picture and stuff. But it went
I got some pictures.
Cursed pictures.
You'll see that on my post when I release this episode online. So.
Yeah, and if you see a random person just dancing along to Paramore and What's New Scooby-Doo, you know that's me.
Yeah. There was one picture that I took that looked like an actual album cover, so I made it into an actual album cover myself.
And I'm just slumped over because I was so tired from dancing.
Bro was so tired from dancing all day.
I was just the hype shark for that entire
We were
gig.
both jamming the whole time.
It was good music.
We were getting jiggy with it, literally.
Yeah.
Did you finally get that song out of your head, by the way?
What song? Yeah, that's what I thought.
You know it's back in your head already once I said
I don't know what you're talking about. At the end of the day, I got jiggy with it, my shark onesie at University of Toledo.
Literally.
And it was the best time of my life. People kept on staring at me every time I went to the bathroom, but that's okay, because I'm still my shark onesie. What are they? College students on a massage chair.
People enjoyed us.
No, they did. No, people enjoyed us, and they complimented the music and my little jig that I had.
Hey, you recorded me jamming out, so...
Yeah, we both did, but hey, it was fun nonetheless.
It was a lot of fun. I wonder how many people just saw me, dancing. That's what we're going to call it.
When the announcer was going off, you're just like jamming in the background.
I was. I was dancing a lot.
People were staring at you definitely around then.
Well, someone's got to throw the happy, fun vibe. If the shark's going to do it, I'm out of costume. I didn't get the memo, so I had to do that. I wanted to actually today to be a Halloween episode, but you know what? I did as best I could by me literally 2 pieces to cosplay as Ethan, and I'm still wearing my WXUT shirt because that's what I usually like to do for DJing and for the show, to feel like I'm in uniform, feel like it's a job, so I can, kind of get used to wearing a uniform. Mm-hmm. Professionalism.
Right.
But I still dressed up. I still have the jean jacket and the khaki pants that you saw me wear for the episode cover. So
yeah. I
personally thought I did as decent as possible. Like I usually do for each episode. I try to do decently with what I have.
Yeah.
If not, I try, especially if it's an animated show or movie, I try to look up creators for that and see what I can do with it.
So far, what you did with the, did you do a Simpsons one?
No, I've not done Simpsons yet.
There's one art. Yeah, you did.
I did Amazing World of Gumball and Total Drama Island.
Total Drama Island. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I like the amount of details that I added onto that. But so far, so good, I
would say Amazing World of Gumball would have been amazing to talk about. I had to talk to myself for 2 hours.
Sorry.
But the total amount that I actually talked to myself was actually pretty decent. Better than my re-recording sessions. But my re-recording sessions were awful. I wish I actually had the original 3 episodes, first 3 episodes I have in my show, because they were actually really good. But that's okay. But yeah, Amazing World of Gumball was total of about 45 minutes. Talking, so I'd say decent. Yeah, decent by myself.
Especially with the Wizarding World of Gumball, you could, similar to what other shows would be like Family Guy, could have just been bits that you focused on. But
yeah, exactly. Anywho, I got ever since, like I said, it is Halloween theme episode. That's why I chose My Babysitter as a Vampire for the Halloween special. What is your favorite Halloween movie?
Ooh. Might be off-season.
I'm not talking about the Michael Myers movies. I'm talking about like Halloween,
like spooky movies.
Yeah, it can be simple as it's just it can be a child movie. Even it really doesn't matter.
Does Jigsaw count?
Jigsaw? Are you talking about just the Saw series in general?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about the original Saw?
The original Saw.
The original Saw. That's fair.
Just something about that movie. It goes above and beyond with brutality. And it's a given, but like that's just what makes it scary for me. Having one person with like, I don't know, a weapon, it usually just doesn't get scary because I can just drop kick them.
Hey, that show took what is it? Escape Rooms literally. That movie series took Escape Rooms literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think so. If you guys do not know, Saw is pretty much about this guy that got cancer.
Yes.
That got cancer and he took life for granted, and he realized that there was a lot of people that were taking life for granted or just horrible people and tried to teach him lessons.
Yep.
That's the shortest.
Some of them did, some of them didn't. And that's what was the original trial that the guy held for those characters. Each single movie would have different cast of characters, different contraptions. Some of them are the same, but nonetheless, it's I'll
be honest with you. I've only seen Saw 1, Saw 2, and I don't remember which Saw it was, but the opening shot was they were in the middle of New York City with a trap. I don't know which one that one was, but it was awful. It was
one of the future ones. Definitely not Saw 1 or Saw 2.
But I watched Saw 2 recently because my whole plan throughout the month of October, I usually try to watch a horror movie every day.
Mm-hmm.
I am like so far behind. I just stopped. I am so far. It's been busy since midterms, so I've had no time at all.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I was kind of off. Even though I recommended the show, Amazing World of Gumball, classes and midterms kind of getting caught up with me.
I'm still trying to deal with them.
Yeah, I only got like one thing to really deal with, but I have capstone classes.
I don't know if you listened to my Amazing World of Gumball, but I want to recap what I've watched.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended on October 15th. And today's the 27th. So I'm really far behind. I fell behind really fast. But I watched Sixth Sense, Saw 2, Poltergeist, the original one, Misery, Alien, Five Nights at Freddy's, Rocky Horror Picture Show, The First Omen, The Gremlins, Scream, Trick or Treat, and Fright Night, and then Willy's Wonderland, The Grudge, the 2019 one, and Cobweb.
Wow, a lot of them are the classic ones. Like
I usually like to throw in some classics. I usually like to throw in some movies I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch the 2019 Grudge. I thought it was good. I personally thought it was good. Not many people liked it because it wasn't the same aspect of what the Grudge was, like with powers and wise. I personally liked it because it was like the detective version of it. But yeah, my favorite Halloween movie that I didn't actually get to watch for this, but I could probably watch it for future reference. For Halloween, because Halloween's coming up. I can recommend it on Halloween because I plan to dress up as Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians.
Nice.
I'm making the staff currently. I'm going to have to finish that whole fit so fast because today is Sunday and Halloween's on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
But
you're going to have to make one day dedicated to that.
I probably will work on it tonight. I want to get the staff done tonight because I got one side done. So I can probably finish the other side tonight.
I wish you the best of luck. That's a lot of work on you.
But yeah, like I said, my favorite horror movie or Halloween movie, would have to be Coraline.
That's a really good movie to choose. Did you know they made a second one?
There is no second one.
They're going to make a second one.
Are they though?
That's what I was told multiple recently. Like same time like
I know they remade Coraline, but in 3D. So that's what came out.
I don't know. It kind of came in around the same time that regular shows also announced to get rebooted. So,
but I know because I watched Coraline in 3D in theaters when it came out recently. It was like I think this month or last month.
I already got confused then, maybe.
Probably, but they just remade the whole film, but 3D models. And it was actually really good. And I stayed for the credits because it was bonus features. So I was like, hey, this is awesome. So I got to do that.
Nice.
So that was really interesting myself. Anywho, sorry for making you stay 2 minutes past your time.
How dare you? No worries.
Do you have any social media or shows that you want to promote for yourself that you have? If so, go ahead, promote whatever you want.
Well,
for yourself.
I got my typical social media accounts, Umbra_even on
send those to me. I'll put them in I'll put all these in the description.
We'll do on people. TikTok and Blue Sky.
Ooh.
I'm also planning on doing a short film with a relative of mine, so I'll have to keep you updated with that.
Ooh. Maybe we can do a viewing before a show and talk about that.
I guess so.
That would be we should do that.
It's up to you.
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. We're going to do that. Once that's finished, let me know when it's finished. Mm-hmm. Like send me the link. I won't watch it until how long do you plan this short film to be?
They're right now a quarter of the way done. That this upcoming week we should be done recording.
How long do you think the short film's going to be? What's your estimate?
I would say 45 minutes to maybe an hour.
We can come in probably 8:30, watch it before my show, and then I write down all the notes I could possibly to talk about.
All right.
And then we can talk about for an episode if you are interested in that, of course. Yeah. I'll give you credit. And
I'll keep you posted on that.
Yes,
though.
Please. That sounds like fun. I would love to do that for you.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. You have anything else to promote?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. I'm going to be back to talk about the rest of the fun facts. There's only 3 left because that's all I can find. I want to try to find more for you guys. So, yeah. I'll be back in, let's say 11:45. I'll come back with the weather, maybe some traffic, see what's up with that. But yeah, we'll come back with that. So we're going to be continuing on with My Babysitter's Vampire playlist that I made for you guys. So let's get started. I'm playing She's Kinda Hot by 5 Seconds of Summer. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to WXUT 88.3. This is AJ with the Plexi Film Show, and I'm going to be continuing to talk about My Babysitter's a Vampire. So yeah, I'm going to be coming back with the weather real quick before we finish up with the fun facts. And I found some connections, so that will also be part of this as well. So the forecast is currently low 37 degrees and clear skies. Tomorrow, it will be high 63 and mostly sunny. Tuesday will be high 79, chance of showers, but most of the day should be nice and sunny. Wednesday is high of 79, partly sunny. Thursday for Halloween is showers. I'm excited for that because I love rain, and Halloween on rain just sounds pleasant and awesome. And of course, I'm excited to wear my costume. Hopefully I'll have it done by then. My plan tonight is to finish the staff for that. And like I said, Thursday is going to be high of 72. So that is for the week. Let's go Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday. So Friday is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 56. Saturday is a chance of showers, mostly sunny with a high of 60. Chance of precipitation is 30%. Sunday is showers likely, mostly cloudy with a high of 66. And chance of precipitation is 66 or 60%. Sorry, my bad. And then I want to give you guys some traffic. I'm going to tell you the real-time traffic. All this is closed for construction, by the way. So Delaware Creek Culvert is closed for construction, both directions. State Route 65 between the Point Road and Roachton Road, I think. That is closed as well. State Route 582 between I-75 and 25 / Dixie Highway is closed for construction as well. And State Route 110 between County Road 12 and US State 6. So yeah, that is some real-time traffic for you for closed for construction. That is just all for you guys' information for those that are late-night drivers, and the weather just for the week if you guys have anything planned. So that's the end of that. We're going to be continuing on with talking about My Babysitter's Vampire. So I already told you one fun fact. The original script was darker and more terrifying than it was originally turned out to be, but was modified to make it suitable for young audiences. On the episode Dipod, if you do not know, it is about a tree that is angry for being cut down and takes control over the school, and I don't know. It's a really weird episode. It's just an anger tree. And in this episode, there's a new song by a band that just recently came out, and everyone's like so happy and so hyped up about it that it came out. And legal downloads was heavy during the early 2000s. It's still pretty bad now, but it was talking about how bad it was back then. And, you know, at this time when the show came out was 2011, so it was still bad. So they were talking about that and how if anyone seen the music video or a live action show for it, and Rory, one of the main characters, was like, "Oh, I got it," and because every music video was like a virus and was just playing a video. Well, anywho, that virus or video that everyone seemed to be getting instead of the actual the music video or live action show, it was called Nick Rolled, and the show, aka Rick Rolled in real life. So I thought it was kind of funny how those were really close in relation and inspiration of memes. I just thought that was actually really funny that at the time Rick Rolled was popular, they took that meme and threw it into the show. I just thought that was so funny to catch the audience of the age of at that time. I just thought that was funny and just threw it into the show. So yeah, like I said, that episode's Anger Tree that tries to take revenge, and there's a popular band that I mentioned that is going everywhere, and there's a virus or troll downloading music, which is illegal. So that's the whole thing. that I wanted to talk about for that fun fact. I just thought that was really cool. I found that by myself because I was like, I remember seeing this episode as a kid and I was like, oh, cool. Who was that? But they tried really hard to show that this is Rick Astley, but not enough to get in trouble for copyright. So I just thought that was funny. So another fun fact is the actor for Benny had his first kiss in the movie, which is the prequel to the show. I just thought that was cool. The series was created by Fresh TV, which is the creator of 16 and Total Drama Island, which is really awesome. And then, of course, Disney bought the series and streamed it. I think they just bought to stream it on their platform. Yes, there you go. So I just think it's funny that it's two Canadian shows that I really like a lot from Canada. So, hey, it just shows that I'm just really meant to live in Canada. It's my dream to actually live there, but it's just me. That's the fun fact. So some of the connections that I was able to find for My Babysitter's Vampire, because I was trying to find if there was any product placement, because I couldn't find any theories or much facts as all. But there was a lot of references in the show, especially Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, and Vampire Diaries. So Benny says the Force is strong with this one young Padawan, like Yoda says. Ethan also mentions how him and Benny went trick-or-treating as Jedi. So I just thought that was really cool, a little reference to that. Being as nerds, they're going to reference Star Wars a lot. Same with Battlestar Galactica. After Vampire exclaims, Frackin', Ethan Morgan argues over which season of Battlestar Galactica was better. And then, of course, there's going to be a reference to Vampire Diaries. Benny says that he has season 1 of the Bloodsucker Diaries, which is their version of Vampire Diaries. And then the spoofs that is thrown into the show is like a spoof version of Twilight, which is really cool. It's called Dusk in the show. If you guys haven't noticed that, I've already talked about it a little bit. I didn't really clarify, but yes, that was like a little spoof that they did. Anywho, that is going to wrap up for the end of this episode. I think season 2, episode 4 already. It's crazy how far we've already come in season 2. If you guys have any ideas what I should talk about in the next episode, please DM me on Instagram. Just look up Plexi Film Show and I guarantee you can find it. So yeah, I'm going to be finishing out with playing some music from the playlist. I will put the playlist in the description if you guys want to listen to it that I made, because it has some pretty decent music relating to the show, of course. And I didn't get to play it all, so you guys can listen to it all whenever you want. So yeah, I'm going to be continuing to play that. So this is the end. I'll probably say my last announcement exactly at 12, and then I'll send it over back to Radio Boss. Anywho, this is AJ with the Plexi Film Show. Hopefully you guys have a good night. Stay safe. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys later.